With Rachel Punter, teacher extraordinaire, just off an assignment in Ethiopia, teaching chemistry for 3 years. Rachel, tell us about your lifestyle, how you achieved that.
How I achieved that? Well, I decided a long time ago that I wanted to travel, and I decided a little bit before that I wanted to be a teacher. And I just really consider myself quite fortunate that the two go quite well together. There are schools in every country of the world. I'm not sure there's a school in Antarctica, but we can work on that one. And as a result, I left the UK about 15 years ago for my first international job in Kuwait. And I discovered I rather liked being a stranger in a strange land. And I really haven't done anything else since. I went to Kuwait, I went to Dubai. I moved to New Zealand, I taught in Peru for a little while, and my most recent job was in Ethiopia. I've actually just signed a contract to start working in Hong Kong next year. So in the meantime, I've taken a little break and spending what I've saved travelling. Collected a few more countries, so I'm now up to a grand total of 55 countries. And over the next few months I expect to come with a friend at a very nice hotel, which is a little bit up on my normal standard of hostels and couch surfing, but what have I done? I was in Canada for 3 weeks and Hawaii for just over a week, and then went to some new countries, Japan, which I adored and had a lot of luck meeting some really interesting people while I was there. From there I went to Korea and then to Taiwan, and then I had a week in the Philippines. Of course my timing was challenging because they just had a major typhoon hit, and that was quite stressful and disrupted a lot of people's lives, and of course on a very small scale my life because it disrupted my flight, but I came away unscathed, very, very lucky, and now I'm in Singapore enjoying a little break before heading off to Australia to visit friends.
Rachel, tell us about your taxi ride in Manila.
Oh goodness, my taxi ride in Manila. Well, my first taxi ride in Manila, I was a classic victim to a typical scam where the taxi driver didn't put the meter on. So when I went back to Manila on my way back from Palawan, I knew that I had to insist that the taxi put the meter on. So he did, and I got him to put the meter on before I told him where I was going. And I already had a price. A friend of mine had told me how much I should expect to pay. So he asked me where I was going, and he said, "Oh, I will do a fixed price." I said, No, leave the meter on. He said, No, fixed price, fixed price. I said, okay, well, what's your fixed price? So he turned the meter off. His fixed price wasn't a good price. So I asked him to put the meter back on. And he said, no, fixed price, fixed price. I said, no, if you don't put the meter back on, I'm going to get out of this taxi. So his response to that was to accelerate and turn into a highway. So I was kind of angry at this stage, and I really insisted that please put the meter on. If you don't put the meter on, I'm getting out of this taxi. So he accelerated a bit more. So I did something that possibly most sensible people might have avoided doing, but I leant forward and I took his car out of gear, and I turned the wheel so that we could pull into the curb. He wasn't incredibly pleased, but he did put the meter on, and we did get back onto the route that I wanted to go to, and we got there, and I discovered after I got there I got it for a bargain price after all. He didn't get a tip though.
Rachel, tell us about the lady in the Manila airport.
Oh well, we were at the airport on Saturday. The flights had all been grounded because of the typhoon that passed through, Typhoon Yolanda. And we were checking in for a 9 o'clock in the morning flight. I'd previously changed my flight in the week, and I'd paid a $5 excess for being able to check an extra bag, which I ended up not needing. But as you do when you're waiting for stuff, you get talking to the people around you, and I met a lady who had a 22-kilo bag that she didn't have luggage allowance for. So when she went to check in, I offered that she use my baggage allowance, and which she did, and the guy was incredibly helpful and let us do that. So we then had the rest of the day to kill because our 9 o'clock flight was delayed till 5 in the afternoon. So we went out into town and she invited me for lunch. So I guess the moral of the story is one good deed begets another, and if you believe in karma, you might put it down to that, but I put it into, well, if you can help someone, why not? And if they can help you out in return, they usually will. That's it.
Rachel, what advice would you give to other people who would like to follow your footsteps in this kind of a vagabond lifestyle?
Oh goodness, advice. Well, probably if it was my parents giving you the advice, they'd say don't. But no, really, the hardest thing about this article and these interviews is the fact that the lifestyle I've chosen feels very comfortable, very normal for me. And I realised through the process of writing the article that perhaps for a lot of people what I chose to do with my life wouldn't be very easy for them. But for me, the idea of packing a couple of bags and jumping on a plane and heading off to a new life brings an opportunity for me to live a life that makes me happy and entertains the people I love back home and keeps me on my toes, so it stops me getting complacent, stops me getting bored, and keeps me entertained. That's it. That's all there is to it.
Rachel, do you have any regrets?
None whatsoever. I think I've led quite a charmed life, and the opportunities that I've taken pretty much always work out to a place or a time where I'm happy that I've done them, and I'm happy to move on from them too. Rolling stone, I keep moving, so I guess I've never had to live with any major consequences, but on the whole I've found myself in a world with some lovely people who've coped with who I am and supported me for whatever that's worth, and I feel very fortunate. I now have a global family. I'm about to go and visit some good friends in Australia. I'm here in Singapore visiting a good friend who I met through another friend from another part of the world. My best friend's back in London, I met travelling, and everybody who stays at home, they keep track of me on Facebook, on my website, and I guess I belong to home by not being there. And we have this deal where I get to come and do whatever crazy things I decide I want to do, and they get to stay at home and read about it and entertain each other with my stories. But yeah, no regrets at all.